Father, I have arrived.
Just in time, Rubicon. Look at the water lilies in the pond. They were brought here from Memphis. This is a tribute from the governor of Memphis province. The lilies were plucked 20 days ago from the banks of the Memphis River, delicately immersed in jars filled with fresh water, transported on a ship across the Philistine Sea, and swiftly brought to Javriel. Today marks the onset of the flowering season. It would be a waste to enjoy these flowers alone, so I invited you to accompany me. I have also extended invitations to others. General Sarvis resides nearby in his mansion, and he should be joining us shortly. Are you acquainted with him?
Yes, I know him. Sarvis is a valiant general.
Knowing him is not enough, Rubicon. As my heir, you must remain well informed about all the developments in Javriel. Sarvis was recently promoted to the rank of youngest senator. It is imperative that you maintain a close relationship with him in the times to come.
Understood, Father. I shall pay him a visit later.
Well, that won't be necessary. He has already arrived.
Your Majesty.
Rise, Sarvis. Now, we await the arrival of High Priest Merari. Sarvis, you have accomplished remarkable military triumphs on my behalf. I had promised that on the day of your senatorial promotion, you may select any city within my empire as your fiefdom, excluding Javriel. Have you made your decision?
By the grace of your Majesty.
Let's skip the formalities of the Senate. Choose your city, and I shall grant it to you. Leave the pleasantries and bureaucratic matters to others.
I desire a land as warm and inviting as your Majesty's garden.
While numerous warm lands lie within my dominion, only one city possesses a garden-like charm. Your discernment is commendable, for you have chosen a place even I find difficult to part with. Very well. Bellefontaine shall be yours. Tend to her with care, for she is a unique and precious flower, even amidst my vast garden. Ah, here comes the High Priest as well.
Greatness be upon you, my lord. May your reign endure as long as the Tiberius River flows through the Eternal City.
Indeed, at my age, divine favor is required to sustain my rule over this nation for much longer.
Worry not, Father. Your radiance shines as brightly as the sun that illuminates the entirety of Japheth.
You've picked up the rhetoric of those eloquent orators, Rubicon. But have you ever seen a day when the sun does not set?
I mean no disrespect, Father.
I know you do not. While your words are flattering, I believe I truly merit such praise. I no longer require badges, scepters, or crowns to demonstrate my power. Nor do my accomplishments necessitate statues, poems, or triumphal arches to extol their glory anymore. The Senate recently bestowed upon me the title of the Sacred One. I wonder, on the day of my departure, whether the artisans will find a monument vast enough to inscribe all my titles. Frequently, I have wondered what further achievements I can attain during my remaining time. My generals have conquered the entire civilized world known to us, and the remaining lands are either too remote or too desolate. My empire has transformed the Philistine Sea into an inland lake. In this regard, I've surpassed all previous emperors in history. When I inherited Javriel, it was constructed of bricks, and when I pass it on to you, Rubicon, my beloved son, it shall be a grand, eternal city. You mentioned the sun earlier, which brings something to mind. The governor of Memphis province sent me a letter along with the flowers. In his letter, he mentioned an ancient legend cherished by the people of Memphis, asserting that their god of the sun was captured by conquerors from the east. According to them, the conquerors hailed from a realm known as the Arsacid Empire. Have you ever heard of that place?
To the best of my knowledge, the Arsacid Empire lies far to the east of our domain, inhabited by different people with a distinct culture. This region is situated near another sea.
The Memphian legend concerning the god of the sun appears to lack veracity. It is merely a deity concocted by simplistic individuals for their own peace of mind.
I understand your piety, Mirari. However, there have been countless gods worshipped in the lands conquered by Japheth. Since the native people believe in those gods, it implies that those gods have favored them, and we Japhethians won't interfere with their beliefs. With that said, it is surprising to hear claims that gods walk the earth as tangible beings that can be captured like treasures. Now, I find that interesting. Rubicon, Sarvis, and Mirari, go to the Arsacid Empire and see it for me. If the God of the Sun is truly there, bring it back to my throne. Only Javriel deserves an everlasting son.
Father, what should we do to the kings and lands of the Ars Acid Empire?
I desire the sun only. If they decline my request, destroy them all. And if they willingly relinquish it, you may decide their fate. Well, I have spent too much time discussing a tiny piece of land. Let us enjoy these splendid water lilies before the sun sets.
Finally. This is the fabled tower that reaches the heavens.
Back in Javriel, I heard tales of it. The tales spoke of how the ancient people aspired to reach the heavens, and thus the tower was constructed. When its foundations were laid, the land was still known by its original name, Obed. I always believed it to be nothing more than fiction. I never imagined that the descendants of Obed continued to build upon it. The dreams of mankind are truly remarkable.
From the way you spoke just now, one would think that we didn't emerge victorious in our great conquest, General Sarvis.
High Priest, I'm sure you can sense that even as conquerors, our splendor of victory pales in comparison to this tower. We are facing something that cannot be conquered by force and will never bow to humans.
You speak the truth. It is not only blood and sword that invoke awe. It is the achievements built upon intangible foundations that endure.
Today, for the first time, the Japhethians bear witness to this marvel, and poets will compose new songs to commemorate this event.
This is our shared feat. Together, our names will be engraved on the next Arch of Triumph in Javriel.
But before your triumph, Your Highness, we have much to accomplish. What shall we do with the subjects of the Arsacid Empire?
They have surrendered, so I have ordered our troops to cease fighting and rest.
However, if the Arsacid Empire dares to resist, His Majesty's decree is to destroy it.
Father is the sun, and naturally, he does not concern himself with the insects scorched by his blazing light. But the people here are far away from Japheth. It is not their fault they are unaware of His Majesty's mighty name.
I understand your point, Your Highness. It has been said that we Japhethians are like a melting pot. There are 2 points behind that statement. First, we open our hearts and minds to all who are willing to submit. Second, if anyone is as stubborn as copper and iron, we will melt them with our fire until they become part of Japheth. Force and fear have been the best tools your father has employed for decades. Through them, the fire of Japheth's heart burns brighter and brighter. I agree that those methods are hardly the most effective. If Your Highness allows, I will find gentler ways to integrate the Arsacid Empire into our fold. If we can make the soldiers abandon their weapons for good, they will no longer pose a threat to us, and we will not need to shed their blood.
The High Priest makes a valid point. This approach would spare the lives of those people without contradicting my father's will. What do you think, Sarvis?
Well, I am just a general, and I focus on military affairs only. I will leave the decision on other matters to you and the High Priest.
Ah, Sarvis. It is evident that your knowledge and eloquence surpass those of your colleagues in the Senate. Yet, you humbly refer to yourself as just a general. I'll take that as a yes. High Priest, I hereby grant you the authority to handle the people of the Arsacid Empire at your discretion.
As you wish, Your Highness.
Now, it is time to claim the ultimate rewards for our arduous journey.
According to the historical accounts of the Arsacid Empire, it was the Emperor Darius who brought the god of the sun from Memphis to Obed 5 centuries ago. Darius once established the greatest empire in Obed. He made Memphis his province long before Japheth came into power.
If this realm were still under his rule, I might have respectfully approached their gates and dispatched a messenger to request an audience. A man who desires to possess the sun must be as ambitious as my father.
The Tower of Babel. That's the one thing in the world, besides the stars, deserving of my upward gaze. It's only fitting that the most glorious trophy should be placed in the highest place of my kingdom. I'm now entrusting it to you, Emeon.
What is this, Your Majesty?
A good question, and one that I would like to ask you, too. I have heard tales that beneath the majestic waterfalls of the Memphis River lies the dormant, ancient god of the sun. It once destroyed the capital of an ancient pharaoh and then sank into the river. So I conquered the land of that pharaoh and ordered countless individuals to dive into the waters, leaving no stone unturned. But the outcome was a great disappointment. The so-called god of the sun was no more than a copper sphere. While it's well crafted, the artisans of Obed could have created a work of art 10 times more intricate than that. I ordered my people to smash it on the spot. However, even the mightiest warriors of my immortal army could not destroy it. No weapon could even scratch its surface. I had craftsmen construct colossal pyres and burn it for 10 days, yet its shell remained unaltered. Finally, I instructed my warriors to transport it to the highest peak in Memphis and cast it off the cliffs. But it was the unyielding stones below that shattered, not the copper sphere. Since long ago, you have collected many extraordinary artifacts in this tower, and you have recruited numerous scholars from my land. I have never impeded or doubted your endeavors. But now, I'm asking for a small favor in return. Unravel the mystery surrounding this sphere, and the reason why the Memphians revere it as the god of the sun. And find out the secret to its immortality.